Welcome back, Original Gangsters. OG out here with you at the Valley County Gun Club outside of Cascade, Idaho. One of the most beautiful ranges I've ever shot at before. And today we are going to take a project gun. This is a Poormetto State bare bones M4 that they sell for like 30 bucks. And we are going to see if we can make this bare bones rifle somewhat accurate by using a good scope and mount. So before we begin, it's kind of trendy right now to shit on everything made by Poormetto State. I happen to believe that they make their M4 rifles pretty well. And yes, I would actually bet my life on this thing. I bought this as a platform gun for the channel just to mount scopes and night vision optics and stuff on. So we're going to take this bare bones rifle that probably has decent basic accuracy, but we're going to see if we can use a GUNNR mount and this new GUNNR scope that they sent me and see if we can dial in some supreme accuracy downrange at 100 yards, see what kind of groups we can get. So I'm glad you guys are tagging along with me today. We've got all of our supplies ready to go, including our Dr. Pepper magazines. Sit back, relax, let me get everything set up here. I got to put a scope on off camera or else YouTube will shit an egg roll. So let me put this scope on and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we have mounted our scope. We have loaded up a magazine. Today we're shooting this PMC X-Tac 55 grain, basic stuff. I've got a 20 round magazine that I'm going to load in here. And we have mounted this scope as far forward on the rail as I can get it. That gives me a nice eye relief with the stock at full extension. I've already dialed in my little, whatever they call this, ocular lens. And I have also used the focus knob here on the left side of the turret to dial in my picture at about 50 yards. I'm slightly blurry at 25 yards and I'll need to dial it in again for 100 yards. But we're going to start by putting some rounds on paper just to make sure that we're somewhere close. At 25 yards, we'll work out to 50 and then we'll start zapping some things out at 100 and see what kind of groups we can get out of this thing. We are quite a bit low. Let's go ahead and dial it up. This GUNNR 6-24 power scope called the Heinmdall for whatever damn reason. And please hold on to your comments about Asgard and Midgard and Bifrost. I don't watch movies made for kids. So this GUNNR 6x24 has these locking turrets, and I actually kind of like that. Using the little plastic tool they give you, you can snap your turrets up, or you unlock them first, snap them up, dial them where you like them, and then we are going to put a few inches of elevation into this. I was about 6 inches low. And then you can lock your turret down, and in addition to locking it down, so that we don't lose zero while the thing is in transport or anywhere else, we can actually dial our turret down. There's no way that turret's ever going to move. So we can confirm that our zero, not only are our screws all locked down, but our turrets are locked down. It's pretty cool and gives us a way to verify that our rifle will always be zeroed every time we take it out of the case. Now we're very close. Let's dial in just a couple more clicks. We need about 1/2 more inch of elevation. Okay, that's about in there for elevation. I'm going to go ahead and lock down my turret. And I can go ahead and give it a nice, I guess it's a double lock, because the turret locks and then this cap will actually screw down and preserves your zero. So for our 25-yard group, remember, I'm not trying to be too accurate. I just want to make sure we're on paper. I started down here. I walked them up to the 1-inch box on the 25-yard square. And then we came out to the 50-yard target where I started a little bit high and I walked them down to a 50-yard. But of course, now we're going to change that too because we're going to place one of these sticky targets out there at 100 yards. One thing I find really handy is this little focus knob on the left-hand side of the turret. It's actually using a combination of this little diopter here, this little ocular lens, whatever they call it. I'm able to get most of my focus in, and then I'm able to use this focus ring and actually pull in the final bit of focus to get a nice crisp picture. And the GUNNR 6x24 actually has very, very good clear glass for its price range. Let's go ahead and put some rounds on target at 100 yards and see where we sit. The scope on 24 power is so powerful that I don't even really need a spotting scope or my binos over here. I can actually spot my own rounds with this thing on. All right, let's give it a try. See if we can't square this thing away. We're going to take this windage back to the left just a hair. Boy, I think we got this thing dialed in now at 100 yards. We're about zeroed as can be. We've been able to take this Poormetto shit stick, put a pretty decent scope, however affordable scope on there, and we are a tack driver downrange. I'm going to turn the camera around here, set you guys up over here where you can see the steel gongs at 100 yards. Those steel gongs on the right, that's what I'm going to be aiming for. My sighting target was right there in the center, the black little sticky target. Okay, those steel gongs at 100 yards are about, I don't know, 10, 12 inches wide. I have no worries that we're going to be able to zap those things each and every time now with this cheap rifle and a pretty decent scope here. Yeah, as fast as I can find those things in my scope, I am able to hit them with ease at 24 power, and of course lower power than that. So yes, you can take a bare bones cheap rifle, and this could have a red dot on it for everyday use around the house. I would feel plenty well armed with a Poormetto shit stick in my house defending my home. But you put a good scope on it like this GUNNR, and again, this is the Heinmdall 6x24, and you've got a pretty decent, I mean, you made this a hunting rifle, and you could certainly reach out there and touch some fools. I'm easily hitting 100 yards, so that tells me that I could probably right now zap human-sized targets out to 300 yards with ease without even trying. So it's a great little scope, great little features here with the locking turrets. I really like GUNNR's 30mm scope mount. However, you can use any 30mm rings you want, the ones you find down at your local gas station, and you can still mount this 30mm scope in there. Now, the Heinmdall's not yet available on their site. I went looking for it to see if I could find any specs on it, and there's nothing. So it is not yet available on their site. It will be available. I talked with the rep down there at GUNNR. It's going to be available towards the end of the year. So this thing is still a prototype, and I think it's only going to get better. So if you're looking for an illuminated reticle, easily focused scope, 6 power out to 24 power for some reach out there and touch them kind of hunting. Not just a hunting scope, definitely has a tactical application, even though it's not one of those cool little LPVOs. This is a HPVO, and boy, I actually kind of like it. So I'm out here on day 2 of testing because as I was throwing this video together, I realized I never really squeezed maximum accuracy out of this scope or this rifle. I got myself on 100 yards, ping and steel, had a lot of fun, ended up packing up and leaving for the day. So today we're going to try really quickly some 62 grain PMC X-Tac, the Korean stuff. And then we're also going to try 55 grain X-Tac, the stuff that you can find everywhere milk is sold. And then I went out and bought some Winchester Match 223. And we ought to be able to squeeze just about the best accuracy possible out of this boat tail hollow point. So enough yakking. Let's get to try some of these rounds downrange. I'm gonna print them for you on paper and then we'll go look. Okay, same thing for the last time. 100 yards on our little black diamond down there. Let's give the 55. I've been pretty impressed with the accuracy of this stuff. 3 rounds of 55 grain, 100 yards, 55 PMC, and I need to change my focus knob just a hair. Here we go. At the top orange circle. Those all felt pretty good. I don't think we hit anything in the orange. 3 rounds, 62 grain green tip, 100 yards. This is through our little Heinmdall 24 at 24 power. This is going to be the right side, the 3 o'clock orange dot. Boy, I don't know what happened down there. And then 3 rounds, Winchester trophy match. 62 grain. This is supposed to be the good shit that all the kids are using. In the dead center orange dot, 100 yards. Well, I got 1 bullseye. And the Winchester trophy probably produced the biggest group. I think this is it here. I'll have to go back and look on tape. But 1, 2, 3 rounds, and our spread here is probably 1, 2, 3 inches, maybe 3.5, 3.25 inches from widest round. So it turns out that trophy stuff not always the best. And this is what I've seen from other shooters on YouTube. I've seen some impressive results out of this cheap stuff that you get from the grocery store. So 2-inch group, 2.5-inch group out of the 55 and 62 grain. Not so bad. So there you go. There's what I'm only one shooter with moderate to low talent level on the long range rifle. That's what I'm able to get out of that Poormetto State bare bones M4 rifle. That's using a really good scope made by GUNNR. So boy, it's acceptable accuracy, I think, out of 3 different ammo types. It's a pretty good scope loaded with features at what I believe is going to be a pretty decent price point. You guys stay safe out there. Stay armed anywhere and everywhere you can. And until next video, OG out.